Okay, this is Libra's card, so it is another air sign. So this could be representative of you, but I see a legal situation going on here. And I do think this represents you as well, because some of you may be making a very, very important decision. Currently, it may not seem like a big decision in the grand scheme of things, but it is. And it will affect you possibly the rest of your life. It will definitely have a big impact. So we need to make sure that we are fair and balanced, using our logic and our emotion and intuition. Funnily enough, in your obstacle, which comes next, we have the Six of Pentacles. And again, we have another balance. So we have to be making sure we're on the up and up, because justice doesn't favor anybody. You know, rain falls on the just and the unjust. But here, whatever happens is meant to happen. It's what is fair, okay? And this is what is your obstacle or your issue going on. Now, just thinking of justice again, you have this really big decision. This is taking responsibility for something, the need for brutal honesty. And for every action you take, there is a reaction. You have to be objective. Maybe you're going to settle in court, but this is whatever is right and true and equal. Maybe you're fighting for equal custody. I can see that. Because with the King of Swords in here, this is equality, but with it in reverse, I see inequality. Okay. And over here with the Six of Pentacles, you see he's giving, there's two people, so I would think of equality. But even though this is supposed to be the card of generosity, I also take it a different way. And I look at him, and he's only giving to this person, and he's not giving to the other. So, and also there's 3 on this side, 1 for him, and 2 for this guy. So he's keeping something for himself. He's not being very honest. And unlike the justice that we usually see in courts where she's blind, okay, here he reminds me of justice with the weights, but he's not blind. He's not wearing a mask, so, or not a blindfold. So he's able to be, show favoritism, okay? He's able to show bias. Now, because we have the devil and it's clarifying the whole reading, when I see the devil and justice, that means corruption. Somebody's corrupt. Well, who's corrupt? King of Swords, especially when he's in reverse. He is somebody who commits a crime against you. Okay? He is the criminal in this case. And funnily enough, it's so funny that this card is ruled by Libra. We have 2 Libra cards next to each other. So you might be in for it with a Libra. Or somebody with Libra in their chart. This is somebody who's a manipulator. They're a liar. They spread rumors about you. If you're in court, they are giving you bad testimony. They're trying to ruin your reputation. But we have legal action that's not going so well. We have bad judgment, or a judgment that's harsh against you. And you just should not trust this person. Somebody has evil intentions and they're just being particularly cruel and barbaric. And keep away from this person. Could possibly be a Capricorn too. So it could be Libra, Aquarius, or Capricorn. And we do have the Capricorn's card too. So we have Libra and Capricorn. So it could be two people you're fighting. Especially since we have 2 over here. Basically, somebody, for your obstacle, somebody's being unfair. There's some bias going on. Now, sometimes, normally when the Six of Pentacles comes up with justice, people say, oh, well, this court is going to be fair. But then we have corruption. And then we have King of Swords, which is somebody who's corrupt and a criminal. So I see lots of corruption. So how is the Six of Pentacles being an obstacle considered being fair? And that's why I brought up the negative connotation. People don't always bring this up, but I always see this. I don't even like this card, okay? Because people think it's generous, and it can be in some instances. Most of the time when I see it, it's a negative thing. Like he's keeping some for himself. It could be about embezzlement, okay? But somebody is not being fair. They're showing favoritism, especially when it comes to court, because he has the weights just like justice. Now this King of Swords is supposed to be steps to take, okay? I don't think you're going to be taking steps for somebody to commit a crime against you. But be watching out for somebody who spreads rumors, who's lying, who's manipulating. Because this person, you can't win with them. If this is the judge, you're in trouble. Okay. We have the sword down, which means defeat. But here in your current situation, you're victorious. But somebody's coming with a judgment. If you are not on the up and up for some reason, you're going down. Okay. This does seem to be a little bit of a negative reading. Also, King of Swords represents a lawyer. Okay. So perhaps as advice, since we do have corruption, the advice is if you're in a legal case, drop your lawyer. Okay, get a new one. Because what I'm seeing here is this lawyer is probably working for the other side. Or he's just not very good and he's corrupt. And he's willing to pay people off and leave you hanging. Now, I don't see the Eight of Swords, so I don't see you going to jail. But you would not win the court case based on this reading. And it's funny because I have my clarification deck, and on the bottom, we got Six of Pentacles again. So it's just doubly clarifying that somebody is very biased. You want a fair outcome, you do. But then something is a little hidden, and it's the fact that somebody's showing favoritism. Now, you can't see it in this one, but you can definitely see it in the other. And here, this is just making a choice. And it's about whether or not you need to drop this lawyer, I'd assume. Or whether or not you want to press charges against somebody who committed a crime against you. But that's very unclear because unless it's the lawyer, I couldn't give you another explanation of what that is. So let's get some clarification. Ooh, Major Arcana, number 4. The Emperor. Jeez. Okay, again, so we have an official. Very much in control. He's capable, he's controlling, he's a boss. And this says, use your anger as a motivation. So if somebody committed a crime against you, use your anger as a motivation in court. Also, you may know something about your lawyer. Or you may know something about the person who committed a crime against you, and you need to reveal that information. You need to reveal the corruption. Also, one good thing, Emperor, he scatters his enemies. So I think you're going to be fine. Do what you got to do to scatter your enemies. Just make sure you're on the up and up. And the way you're going to do it with justice here, you're going to use logic and reasoning. Okay? But the authority, with the devil, you do have, here we're just doubly identifying that the authority is cruel. Could be a boss, okay? But there's so much legal stuff here, but if this is for the workplace, somebody's very cruel, or hopefully not, it says that you have cruel intentions. Hopefully that's definitely not the case. Just abusing authority, and it says you are very close to a crisis with the Emperor and the devil. So close to a crisis if you're not already in one. You can tell, his arms are closed. He's closed off to communication. And he has this circle around him as if he's wearing a halo, but he's not very angelic. But you need to take control and scatter your enemies. Yeah, this is definitely about the law, the police. I can see that too. Something with the government. A judge, too. You may have an incorrupt judge. A corrupt judge. Somebody in authority. I don't know who it is. But it's one of those people. And whatever decision is made is going to impact you for the long term, Gemini. Let's get some more clarification. Moving on, Six of Swords. Okay. So you're willing to see, yeah, my bubble has been burst. And I'm going to have this radical change. I'm coming up on a new environment. Let me think about that for a minute, because I want to make sure, this is a new deck, I want to make sure that's Six of Swords. I just want to think about that. Okay, it's the indigo, and I think indigo might be wands, so I'm just double checking here. But either way, it says moving on, and that makes me think of Six of Swords. Yes, it is swords. Okay, just making sure. Sorry about that. I didn't want to give you the wrong advice. Okay, so Six of Swords, you are moving on. What is that he's got in his hand? There's a token of some sort. I wonder if the book says what that is, because I'm just not very sure. Okay. It says you're about to embark on a much-needed journey to leave the past behind. I can definitely see that. This card lets you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that the time has arrived in which a difficult cycle in your life is coming to an end. In the traditional tarot, this card implies traveling or going forward. I definitely see that, guys, okay? It involves crossing the water from the choppy to the calm. You're approaching this period having grown, and you're much stronger for it. So whatever happens, you're going to be fine. The healing process is underway, and now you can set your goals, desires, and objectives for a more secure, positive, successful future. Very nice. It says people are introduced in your life in the most synchronistic way for your good. Basically, you are in the healing process, but it's going to be a very radical change. The environment you're coming upon is new. Troublesome phase is ending. So it may be because you drop somebody. You drop a lawyer. You move on from a cruel boss or a cruel lover. Okay, what's this Six of Pentacles about? Because we have it twice. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Ace of Wands. Okay, the Ace of Wands. Upright. And with the King of Cups. Talks about an achievement. With the Devil, it talks about illegitimate children. But it basically says be true. Okay. Believe in yourself. Be optimistic despite this happening. And even if somebody else is not fair, you need to be fair and be truthful. Like justice will rain down hard on you, okay, if you're not. It just, everything's black and white for justice. But you're beginning a new phase. Yeah. It's possibly with your family, your origins. Maybe you're going, maybe you're leaving an abusive person. You're getting divorced and you're leaving an abusive person and you're going back to your family. And you have a brand new beginning and your passion is just ignited. But whatever the challenge is, you need to go for it. You need to tackle it. Okay, coming to your strength, we have Seven of Swords in reverse. So this tells me that, yes, somebody's tricky. And you need to be cautious. So that's your strength. You're going to be cautious because you know this person is committing crimes. They're corrupt. One minute they're volatile and then they're affectionate. But it says you need to seek advice before proceeding. Okay. Somebody, again, could be slandering. So if you need to seek advice, don't go to your lawyer, your police officer, whoever it is, even a judge perhaps. You need to get advice from somebody that you trust. And there's going to be somebody you trust with this justice. So Libra, not Capricorn. Please don't get a Capricorn. Well, actually, Libra and Capricorn are bad. Possibly an Aquarius, okay? But just go to somebody you trust and seek advice before you move forward. And you're going to get good advice, but just go very, very slow. Because somebody is slandering. So I don't see very good testimony for you in court. And if there's somebody who is cruel and barbaric and you aren't able to see it for some reason, just don't let anybody in too quickly. Okay, you're not going to do that. That's part of your strength, is you won't. It looks like you're moving on from hurtful stuff in the past. It's great. Now, other challenges that's coming up, Ace of Wands again. So we have 2 Aces of Wands. And these are challenges sometimes that the cards will give you to do to make your situation better. And look, it landed over there. So if you have a long-held dream, you need to work on achieving it. And basically, luck is on your side. Money and fortune could be, an inheritance could be in the works. Like a new home, perhaps. Just a beginning phase. And just watch out for people. Be very slow to let people in. Because I see a lot of passion here. And with justice, anytime there's an ace, it says that you have a special blessing on the decision that you're making that's going to impact you forever. And since you have it twice, if you decide to sever ties and move forward, like the moving on 6 of Swords says, both Ace of Swords says severing the past and moving forward gives you that special blessing. So this may be you severing with the sword. And it's from somebody who's cruel. Maybe there is no court involved. Maybe there is. You could be getting divorced. Maybe it was a very, very toxic relationship. I could see an abuser. It doesn't even have to be somebody in the government. It could just be a toxic relationship with an Aries. Or any male partner. Or actually, not even male. It could be any partner. All right, now this is your potential outcome. I have no idea why this is your outcome, okay, because it's not very positive. That makes me think that you're choosing not to sever the ties. Because sometimes Ace of Wands, it's only a blessing if you sever the ties. You could be stuck in some kind of a sexual addiction based on the devil, and then Ace of Wands is very sexual. It's like almost like an addiction. And if you do have somebody who's more of like a dominant person, or you're kind of stuck in this cycle of an abusive relationship, if you stay in it, the outcome's not very good. It's King of Cups reversed. Okay. This is a dishonest man. Somebody who's running from themselves. Again, we have injustice. And how strange is it that you have justice and injustice right on top of each other? Okay, this is your potential outcome. Now, don't worry, we'll get some clarifiers, but I just want to talk about it. this is being repressed or oppressed, kind of like the devil shows. And there's some kind of scandal going on. Somebody's going rogue, running from your problems. Again, we have manipulation going on. I mean, there's just nothing good about this card reversed. Could also just be not weighing the pros and cons of something. So you didn't sever the ties and you're actually staying. Let's get some clarification, okay? Because we have 3 cards saying you need to move on. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so you're trying to make this decision. Could be whether to stay married or get divorced. Maybe somebody's also juggling 2 people. Because King of Cups reverse can be promiscuity. Let's clarify that some more. High Priestess. Okay. There's definitely somebody being hidden. Something the secret. And I think it has to do with an affair. Because we have a King of Cups and a King of Swords. And they're both in reverse. So this tells me that there are 2 parties. These look like men to me. Because Justice here is a woman. So it could be you're a woman and you are involved with 2 men. And one of them's being hidden. Remember, if there's anything hidden, it's going to come out because we have all these court cards. And you need to move on. If for some reason this is you and you or somebody else is the other woman, then the secret may not come out, but you need to move on. So I have Devil. I'm trying to think about High Priestess. I don't even know if that goes along. But just, Devil and Justice, there is corruption. There is a crime, criminal law. So I do see just overall corruption with crime. But then again, with the High Priestess, we have secrecy and deception. And the King of Cups could be denial of motives, like denying your motives and your desires and your needs and your wants for a very, very long time. You've just been kind of juggling them. You haven't really been addressing them. Okay, what are some action steps that Gemini can take? Ooh, another major arcana, 13, transfer death. Okay, so we have 2 Scorpio cards. King of Cups reversed, and transformation, which is death upright. So you do need to end something so you can have a new beginning. Let me think about this a little more. Death. Well, with King of Cups and death. Okay, this could be a good thing. King of Cups and death mean possessiveness, and they're both the Scorpio, so I know they go together. But the King of Cups is in reverse. So as a lighter note, more positive note, you could be not possessive, meaning you're letting go of something. You can't keep juggling forever, so you let something go. But with the High Priestess, this is saying take your time, take a step back, get that perspective in order to make a decision. Because with the High Priestess so close to the King of Swords, I see like there's a woman who can't win in this man's world. I also see a detective, which would be a cop. So there could be a secret that there's a corrupt cop. Or something's being withheld from the police. Now with the High Priestess and Seven of Swords, I do see there's some sneaky behavior going on. And because this is your strength, I'm wondering if there's some sneaky behavior going on with you. I don't know why that would be your strength, though. That baffles me. But I do see High Priestess and Seven of Swords as getting your power back. So somebody could have committed a crime against you. You're going to move on. You're getting your power back. You're going to sever the past. The past will be dead. And maybe you end up, at first it was biased, but in the end, you get a fair verdict. Yeah, this new beginning, you start over again. You get your passion back. And then you let go of something. You let go of the past. It looks like you sever it, and you will get that special blessing, which is fabulous. I love it. But with the devil and the High Priestess, and somebody here with their emotions are out of control, you might end up having an emotional affair. And maybe it could be perhaps you're interfering in a marriage. You're having an emotional affair with somebody who's married or while you're married. And so your outcome is being emotionally out of control. And again, with death we have possessiveness, so I see it in reverse as you're either being very, very possessive, or somebody could be very, very possessive of you, because we do have the devil and the emperor and king of swords. If you don't move on, somebody's going to be very possessive of you. But with it in reverse, I would prefer that it's you letting go of something, especially the past or a bad relationship. Because here with King of Cups in reverse, your feelings are not neutral, okay? But just take a step back, get some perspective like the High Priestess would indicate. Trust your gut, trust your intuition. If you know something's wrong, trust that. Because here with Ace of Wands and Death next to each other, it says you're getting no support. What are some action steps besides, changing? Get some support. Maybe your lawyer is corrupt. You need to get new support. Ooh, power number 8. This is strength. So get some balls. Do what you got to do. You're gonna have to tame the wild beast. Okay. With the Seven of Swords, especially when it's in reverse, don't worry about tact and diplomacy. Do what you gotta do to make sure that you end up okay with that fair verdict. Now, I'm not saying lie or spread rumors, because that is in here and that's what the other person is supposed to do. Don't sink to their level. Because remember, justice sees everything and she will hand out justice in black and white. Okay? But with strength and justice together, two arcanas, major arcanas, we have very strict laws. But your strength is that you're going to find a strong legal team. Okay? Somebody is very corrupt, but you're going to have a strong legal team. And that's going to get you that Six of Pentacles fair verdict. I don't think there's anything else that I need to tell you. The only thing is I don't like this outcome because it shows me not healing. Is this King of Cups about letting go of something? Ace of Cups. Okay, so we have a new start. A new beginning, possibly a love offer. I don't usually see this card too much anymore. It's very rare that I see this card. When I first started doing tarot, I saw this card all the time. But again, anytime there's Ace and King of Swords, it talks about special blessings and moving on. Couldn't get further clarification on the Devil. Another major arcana, the Moon. Yes, with the Moon and the High Priestess and the Devil, there is huge deception going on. And somebody's corrupt. And it might not even be an affair. There could be two corrupt people. Your strength is that you are going to be cautious, go slow, seek wise counsel. You're going to have a strong legal team. You need to find that legal team, get it together, because you're facing all kinds of obstacles, and this is something that will change your life forever. So get that strong legal team going. And then you can have your Ace of Cups, which is your new beginning, a really good offer, ultimate happiness. Okay. If this is about custody of kids, I see that it didn't look like it was going so well, but with the Ace of Cups clarifying the Devil, it looks like you would get custody of kids. Okay, besides a strong legal team, what is another action to take? Nine of Pentacles. All right, being self-sufficient. So this is being single and self-sufficient. Also see taking time out too. Just enjoying the good life. Okay, one more. Three of Wands, partnerships and alliances. So yeah, you really need a team. Now you may have to pay for it yourself, as in being self-sufficient. You may have to pay for this legal team yourself, but you are going to have the best legal team. And you're going to get out of whatever it is that is being so corrupt.